My memories really are solid of the river. They began when we moved there, right before I turned 4. Our home was right on the river there, the highest bluff on that lower river, and kind of flattens out and becomes swampy everywhere else. But that was one high spot with big oaks and the river running swift past every day. A lot of creeks and backwater sloughs that I wandered in and laid in the mud and caught fiddler crabs and watched the water bugs dance and the sparkle of the light through the trees. Just fell in love with everything about the river and the bay and the mud between my toes and the ticks in my hair. We got together and started doing what we could to form an organization with the capacity to actually affect higher levels of protection for the resources. I was so disillusioned with the failure of DEP and DCA and the failures of the Army Corps of Engineers and the failures on behalf of the people. It was heart-wrenching to have citizens come to you with real issues that needed to be addressed, and you not be able to give them any hope. Every wastewater treatment facility along the Apalachicola River was failing. There was not one that was not having to mitigate the damage that they were, the pollution they were. And Apalachicola was basically flushing its wastewater with the tide. Tide would come in and get it out at the plant and flush it back into the river and the bay. Lots of big issues, lots of things that needed to be monitored, lots of big things to face, and a few people and small resources to face it. But it began to grow. Without a voice, then the only voice that's heard are those that want to run over the resource. And that's why Riverkeeper is important, because that voice demands a very high level of information, a very high level of diplomacy, a very high level of passion. And bringing all of those things together will take many, many strong voices. And the kind of cost, financial cost for litigation, citizen-initiated litigation, most citizens don't have those resources. But the developers who wanted to do something that was causing harm to the environment did have those resources. So there had to be an organization with deep enough pockets to pool the citizens' resources to take on those fights that individuals couldn't. And that gave me hope. Whatever fire we're putting out now environmentally is not the only thing. There is a history behind this. And while you may think that what you're losing right now is significant, when taken cumulatively and looked at as a total picture, what we have left is a small sliver of the environment, not what we should be thinking about in terms. So we cannot afford to lose 10% of this sliver. When we look at it, we've already lost 90% of what we should have protected in the first place. I think honoring all of those who have the battle scars of battling for a cause greater than themselves needs to be deeply respected. I just pay great homage to all of those that when you look across the scene and see them, that have been there, that have done this, that have gone maybe not specifically with one organization, but in the many ways that it takes to do the greater good for humanity, for social, environmental justice. That means it isn't just the environmental justice that Riverkeeper is about. It's a social justice issue as well. And if you have that passion, if you care that deeply, there are going to be scars. And let's honor that work for the cost that it is to all who do it.